And it's in the answer that Joseph gave to his brothers that we find the same word that God uses in Jeremiah 29:11. You want to read it with me? It's Genesis 50:20, where Joseph says to his brothers, you intended, same word, you machined it to harm me, but God machined it for good. When I read that, it flew all over me. Joseph said to his brothers, you're engineering, you're machining, you put the parts together in a way to hurt me. Am I talking to anybody here tonight? You're dealing with somebody, you know they're putting the parts together to hurt you. And there's no doubt about it. Like Joseph's brothers, they have it in for you. Maybe it's somebody in your life that you've invested in and you poured resources into them, you poured love into them, and all you're getting back in return is hatred and anger and a desire to hurt. Joseph said, it's true. You machined this thing for evil, but I can love you because God, all the time you were machining it for evil, God machined it for good. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you tonight, even if life has put you in Babylon, if you are willing to take God at His word and put one foot in front of the other and walk toward God, maybe everybody in your life, God forbid, but maybe everybody in your life could be machining the parts and the pieces to bring you evil, and still God is machining it for good. Up in heaven, your Heavenly Father is looking at your life and He's saying, I know what I got wrapped up under the tree, and it's okay. You can keep functioning. You can keep putting one foot in front of the other. You can keep going on. You don't have to be crippled by anxieties. You don't have to be crippled by fears, because God says, the way I put things together is not the way you put things together, and I'm machining it for good. I don't know why I brought this message tonight. I just had an overwhelming sense that tonight was the night to bring this message. Am I talking to somebody and you've almost given up? Maybe like Joseph, you've been lied on, you've been put in prison. You know the irony is, here's the thing. Joseph would have never risen to the most important man in the world unless he was positioned in Egypt. He would have never been available to the king when he had a dream if he hadn't been put in prison. And if he hadn't been forgotten, he wouldn't have had the perfect timing when the king needed him to interpret the dream. And when you look back at Joseph's life, even though it looks like 13 years of tragedy, God was machining all the parts to bring him to where he needed to be right on time. And ladies and gentlemen, He is doing the same for you and me if we will be faithful to Him. I know the thoughts and the plans that I have for you, God says. I've seen it. I've machined it. It's for good and not for evil. It's not to bring you to an end, but to bring you to a future.